Vintage Grandmacore Kitchen Makeover. Transform your space into a cozy nostalgic dream. Hello friends, it's Sarah here from Decorame. I'm so happy you've joined me today. If you're new here, welcome to our cozy little corner, where we talk all things interior decorating, timeless home aesthetics, and embracing your space with heart. One of the things I love most is taking overlooked or outdated areas and giving them a whole new soul, especially when it comes to kitchens. Today, I want to share a journey with you, one that's all about warmth, memories, and the beautiful charm of the vintage Grandmacore kitchen makeover. This is more than just a trend. It's a lifestyle that embraces slow living, nostalgic comforts, and the kind of space where stories are told over tea and cookies. So grab a warm drink, get comfortable, and let's take a walk down memory lane together. It all started when I walked into my grandmother's old kitchen last spring. The smell of vanilla and wood polish instantly transported me back to childhood. Those golden days of fresh pies cooling on the windowsill, and the rhythmic hum of her old sewing machine in the corner. The space had aged, yes, but it was still full of heart. I wanted to capture that magic, bottle it up, and bring it into my own home. That's where the idea of this makeover was born. Grandmacore, as many of you know, is this incredibly sweet, nostalgic design aesthetic rooted in vintage touches, soft patterns, and sentimental pieces. It's more than just doilies and floral wallpaper. It's a tribute to the care and charm that went into every corner of our elders' homes. When I began transforming my own kitchen, I started by asking, what makes a kitchen feel like grandma's? The answer came surprisingly quickly: warmth, softness, and stories. I swapped out harsh white cabinets for soft cream tones and muted sage. The modern metal hardware went into storage, replaced by dainty porcelain knobs and vintage brass pulls. I hunted down old canisters at thrift stores, each one slightly chipped and full of character. A floral tablecloth draped over a worn wooden table instantly grounded the space. These little choices added up and made the space feel like it had lived a whole life before I ever stepped into it. One of my favorite elements of the Grandmacore aesthetic is the emphasis on practical beauty. It's not about perfection, it's about purpose. So I included open shelving, lined with embroidered runners, and stacked with mismatched but beloved plates. I even added a few crocheted pot holders that my grandmother made herself, hanging proudly beside the stove. A vintage teapot with tiny roses now sits on the windowsill, catching the morning sun just right. There's something incredibly grounding about surrounding yourself with objects that feel like they could tell you a story. And in a Grandmacore kitchen, every item does. Let's talk patterns and fabrics for a minute, because these truly define the heart of this aesthetic. I leaned heavily into florals, soft roses, delicate daisies, and little lavender sprigs scattered across curtains, chair cushions, and even aprons. Yes, I started wearing aprons again, and not the plain kind, but the ones with lace trim and embroidered pockets. It's funny how something as simple as slipping on a vintage apron while cooking dinner can completely shift your mindset. You feel slower, more present, like time doesn't need to rush by. That's the essence of Grandmacore. Of course, lighting plays a huge role in transforming the mood of any space, and for this kitchen, I kept it soft and natural. I replaced harsh overhead bulbs with warm Edison-style lights. Then I added a few lamps with floral fabric shades in the corners of the room. Yes, lamps in the kitchen. It makes the entire space feel more like a sitting room than a work zone. Candlelight dinners, even on weeknights, became a thing. I even found a vintage chandelier at a flea market, rewired it, and now it hangs above the breakfast nook like a crown jewel. Gentle lighting like this slows everything down and gives your home that golden hour glow all day long. Let's not forget the role of scent. I started simmering pots of cloves, orange peels, and cinnamon sticks on the stove while I cooked. I also placed dried lavender sachets in open drawers and kept a tin of fresh-baked cookies on the counter more often than not. These smells are memory triggers. They take you back to baking days and Sunday suppers. Even if your grandmother didn't cook, there's a universal comfort in warm, familiar scents. For me, it wasn't just about recreating the look of her kitchen, it was about recapturing the feeling. Storage was a fun challenge. I opted for old-fashioned hutches and wall-mounted spice racks instead of modern cabinetry. My kitchen now features a little corner dedicated to handwritten recipes, some passed down through generations. I framed a few old index cards, yellowed and stained with use, and hung them beside the pantry. These personal details keep the heart of the home alive. It's not about curating the perfect Instagram moment. It's about letting your space tell a true, honest story, one you're proud to live in every day. After weeks of gathering, painting, sewing, and rearranging, I finally stepped back and looked at my finished Grandmacore kitchen. And I cried, not because it was picture perfect, but because it felt right. It felt like a warm hug, like Sunday brunches, like a life lived slowly and sweetly. My family noticed it too, how they lingered longer at the table, how friends started stopping by just to chat over tea. That's what this aesthetic gives you. It invites connection, conversation, and comfort. It's a lifestyle as much as it is a design. In conclusion, this vintage Grandmacore kitchen makeover wasn't just a home project for me. It was a journey of heart. It was a way of honoring where I come from and giving my present space a deeper sense of love and presence. When you decorate with intention, when you allow sentiment to guide your design, you create a space that welcomes you in every time. And that, to me, is the very soul of home. So whether you're thinking of doing a full makeover or just adding a few touches, remember that Grandmacore is about slowing down and savoring the details. Bring in pieces that hold memories. Choose patterns and textures that soothe you. Make room for stories. And most importantly, decorate in a way that makes you feel at home. From my heart to yours, thank you for being here with me today on Decorame. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what vintage pieces make your kitchen feel like a dream.